sharing's caring, Matt.
Yeah, sharing's caring, yeah.
Oh, come on. Right, next time you come out with a tagline, I'm going to be all deflated.
Yes, we're back again. Week 46. I was going to say 42. 46 of the Groove Junction. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. My name's DJ Matt EF. I am one half of the Groove Junction. And without further ado, I'm going to hand over to my co-host, the man himself, Mr. DJ John Colley.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
It's really good to see you. You lost a bit of weight. Just a bit of weight.
Bit rude.
No. You look very, very athletic, very slimming. Yeah, no. Okay, you take that the wrong way.
Yeah, totally. I was an unexpected compliment. Is it a compliment? Is it backhanded?
You're looking good, man. You're looking good.
Is there a backhanded compliment coming?
No, man, for an old guy, you're looking good.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for dropping in. As always, we are here for another week talking all things DJ community for the DJ podcast. And we got a guest on this evening.
Nice.
Yeah, so many people probably won't know, but this guy is rocking it at the moment, and his content is really starting to drive. But we're going to get him on shortly. But before that, as always, we're going to get into the rundown. But before I get into the rundown, if you haven't subscribed via your podcast provider, go and hit that button. Go and hit that subscribe button. Go and hit the bell in YouTube. Go and hit the subscribe button in YouTube. Whatever. Just subscribe. We need people to subscribe. We need people to like it, hit the like button, and subscribe. On that note, it's time for the rundown, sponsored by Pro Mobile Magazine.
The Groove Junction Rundown is sponsored by Pro Mobile Magazine, the magazine that's got it all. It's a game changer. They don't just do surface-level reviews, they dive deep with real practical insights. And the interviews? They feature some heavy hitters sharing seriously valuable advice. But it's not just about DJ gear. They cover everything. Marketing techniques, and even the latest tech trends like AI, which is super relevant right now. Honestly, if you're serious about your DJ career, you need to check them out. And here's the best part. We've got an exclusive deal just for the Groove Junction listeners. You can subscribe right now by searching Pro Mobile Magazine and hitting the subscribe button. Just use our special code, GroovePMSUB, for a 25% discount on your first year's subscription, which is 6 magazines delivered to your door. That's Pro Mobile Magazine. Don't miss out.
Thank you, Pro Mobile Magazine, for sponsoring the Groove Junction. Don't forget, people, the Groove Junction, use that promo code, GroovePMSUB. Get your discount off your subscription for the great magazine that is the Pro Mobile Magazine. There you go. I'm just saying it.
100%. No, you're right. It wasn't a lie.
No, never a lie.
No.
John,
Yes.
what have you been up to?
Oh, mate, what a week. What a crazy week. 5 events in 1 week. Busy week. And it's like the hottest week in the UK this year.
It was hot.
It was crazy. It was crazy. So, very busy.
Talk to me.
Okay, so 2 proms. 1 on Thursday, 1 on Friday. I did a school fete, hosted a school fete on Saturday morning, did a netball presentation Saturday night.
Nice.
And I did a kid's birthday party Sunday morning. Who has a kid's birthday party on a Sunday morning?
7-year-olds.
She was 5. No, she was 5.
There you go.
Yeah, 30 screaming kids. It was good fun, though. It's such good fun. Yeah.
That was probably the best gig.
You know what? I won't lie. It probably was.
There you go.
No, really good. What about yourself? Busy?
Yeah, I had a prom and silent disco up at Chatsworth House. I told everyone it was Yorkshire, it was Derbyshire. So apologies to everyone from Derbyshire. So that was Friday night was the prom, Saturday was the silent disco. I mentioned it last week. I hate proms, and I'm still going to continue to stand.
Yeah, I don't know why you do, though. I don't know why you do.
Do you know?
I don't get it. It's easy. They're easy. They're so high energy. They're just easy, and it's over before you know it.
All right, I'm just going to point out that it might have been high energy for you. It might have been over before you know it. Mine wasn't. And when you've got a school from North London that brings its own security team, you know that you're going to be in for a bit of a rough night.
You had security at your prom.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
And
Did you have like a metal detector as they walk through the door or anything like that?
Well, I'm not going to say. However, what I would say is that I had personal security next to me whilst DJing all night at this school prom. Anyway,
Was it a proper security guard?
yes. What I would say is, what I would say is that this is one reason why I hate the school proms. Well, there's two reasons. Number one, haven't even started. Two young lads bowled straight over to me. One has a laptop under his arm. The other one has got a USB stick swinging around in his finger.
I know what's coming. I know what's coming.
And both of them have gone to me. Our head teacher said we're all right to do a set tonight. I was like, that's nice. It ain't happening.
Yeah, isn't it?
They looked at me to say, why not? I said, because it's not your head teacher's equipment, it's my equipment, and you're not doing it.
No
way. And then they literally turned around and walked off. So that was the first thing. And then the security had to get involved with me because there was this group of lads that literally kept on coming up and shoving phones in my face. And it was just getting to the point where it was just getting, I could deal with the first few, not a problem, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then at one point, somebody then came over to give me like, can you play this? And like went to hand me a phone, and then I got two other phones literally thrown in my face. I wasn't talking to them at all. I was talking to one kid, and these two phones just came straight at me, and I went, enough's enough, right, just go. And then security had to come in and say, right, that's it, don't go anywhere near him again, get over there, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, honestly, yeah, that's why I hate school problems, mate. There you go.
Okay. I get that. I mean, yeah, I can understand why you're not a lover of them because of that. Yeah,
But the silent disco was great. It was
great.
brilliant, as always.
As an outdoor one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was outdoors. Yeah, it was outdoors, but it was lovely and warm. It was great.
That's all that matters, mate. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
that's good.
It was all good. It was all.
I didn't really have any dramas with my proms, if I'm totally honest. I did have the people coming up with the phone saying play this, play that, and it was just like it's in the list. It's coming up. You know, I'll play it now. I hate that when I think, you play it now. Can you play it next? Nope, I can't play it next. I've got a set list.
I forgot to tell you this. I forgot to say this, right? It made me chuckle because I thought this is ideal for the podcast. So I start playing the first track, and I'm like probably a minute 10 into the track, and then this large group of boys all turned around to me and did the John Collie. And you're thinking, what are you talking about? Did the John Collie? They were like doing the twirly things with your fingers, like get on to the next song after the break. They kept on doing this, and I was like, I had a dance floor full, and they didn't. They were like, we're done with that tune now, and they're doing the finger twirling in a circle, going move on, and I'm like, the dance floor's full.
Yeah, they're enjoying it.
Oh, honest to God, I was like, oh, but anyway,
no, I must admit, I mean,
school problems are over for me. I ain't doing any more.
Oh, I've still got a couple more to do, to be fair. But no, my one Thursday night, it was like 157 kids. And you know what? One of the nicest parts about it was watching them all arrive, because they were arriving in horse-drawn carriages, Rolls Royces, Bentleys, McLarens, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. There was a whole mixed array of different vehicles. And it was great. I mean, it was high energy from the start, and a couple of people come up and ask for songs, which was fine. Very, very nice, very polite, great. Friday nights was a weird one, because normally when you do a prom, you kind of do the dinner music, background music for a couple of hours, then a couple of hours party, right? This was 2.5 hours from arrival to end. So I literally only had an hour to play any party music. So, very quick one. Kids party on Sunday. That was another good one. I've already done a party for their family last year. I did a party, and this is why they booked me again for this year for their daughter. But what was really nice for me, Matt, is that there was like 5 other parents at this party that I have done parties for, and they recognised me and they come up and said hello. And I look, I'm giving it, I know the face, but I cannot put where I know you.
It's the problem is, John, is when you get to celebrity status like you do for your kids' parties, yeah, you're everyone knows you.
Yeah, it did feel like that, to be fair. But it was a very hot morning, but it was a very good day. Stop laughing at me. There's no need to laugh at me.
Sorry, I'm just
Now
no.
I'm getting a complex.
It's great. It's great that these people, have taken you in as one of their own.
Absolutely.
That's how it feels.
Yeah. Oh, what a big happy family.
Right. Anyway, we've got a guest waiting in the wings as always. So, John, I will see you
to the break.
So please welcome to this week's The Groove Junction, Mr. Daen Fox from Fox Entertainment. There he is. Oh, do you know what? I do this every time, and I forget the applause button. There it is. I found it.
It's only got one job.
Sorry. Yeah, there he is. There we go. Daen, thanks for joining us. Thanks for reaching out. Thank you for coming on and talking with us tonight. And we're going to get into the reasons why you want to come on and enlighten us and give us that, give us some nuggets.
Oh, yeah.
We
love a nugget.
Groove Junction goodie. And if you do, throw out a Groove Junction goodie, you get a nice little jingle that pops in as well. But before we get into that, thanks for joining. We want to know all about you, where you're from, how long you've been in the industry, what made you start DJing. So that's like loads of questions straight off the bat. But first and foremost, introduce yourself to the Groove Junction audience.
Let's go. Let's do this. So I am Daen Fox, and I thought to myself, I wonder what I should call my DJ name. I know, I went through loads of different things. DJ Daen Fox, but I'll add an X to the end of the name. So I am DJ Daen Fox. I've only been going as a full-time DJ now for a good couple of years, but I've always been around DJ kit since the age of 5 with the records way back in the 90s. Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight was my first ever record that I had. So my brother used to DJ too. So I've always been around the kit and known what to do. My full-time gig prior to DJ was working in recruitment and sales for the past decade and content creation. So I've used all of that and my passion, and I've just put it full force into music and creating experiences. So people say to me, Daen, what do you do? I create experiences, whether it's on the dance floor, at a party, at a school prom. I bring it.
School prom?
Yeah.
Love a school prom, Daen.
Let's not talk about the school prom, please. We've had enough talk about the school proms tonight. But okay, so all right, so there's loads there's loads to unpick here. Loads to unpick. Okay, so you were around the music scene because of your brother, you said, from around about the age of 5. Okay, so what made you then go, actually, this is something I want to do?
You know what? For me, like having ADHD and not really being able to concentrate on anything, I just found that music's always sort of grounded me. So like when I can't go to sleep without noise. So DJing is perfect. So noisy. I can't get to sleep without noise. Whenever I'm feeling a certain emotion or a certain way, it's just you put on what you need to, a bit of Tupac, a bit of Luther Vandross, whatever mood you're in, and it just resettles you. Whenever you're going to do any sort of like a boxing event or football event, you want to listen to something that's going to hype you up. Music's always helped me connect. I don't know where I'd be without it. So when I've got the honor, when I've been at parties or I've seen my brother doing this thing or I've DJ'd myself, it's the ultimate honor to be in control of that, controlling the vibe, and also just helping everyone else connect with each other as well. Because I feel like being a DJ, like, you're almost just like a psychologist too. You are manipulating the music and the airwaves to make people vibe and be happy and connect. And, whatever's gone on out in the outside world, music is the one thing that connects them all together. It's just, I don't think there's anything else like it.
That, I tell you, that is a really, really nice way of putting it, in the sense of the psychologist of, you know, trying to piece certain bits and pieces together in relation to your set and your music to bring that experience that you've just sort of brought upon, and you are all about that experience. And we're going to get into your social media stuff and your following and everything else. So whereabouts are you based in the country then,
Yeah.
in the
So
UK?
I am based in the Midlands. So if you go on a map of England, right in the very middle, a place called Coventry. So it's not too far from Birmingham or Stratford upon Avon, which is great for me because it means I can get to Manchester, to London, to Norfolk, wherever I need to be. It's really handy. I'm not sort of capped by any particular destination unless it's like Aberdeen.
I mean, yeah. If you go to Inverness, I mean that's a fair track
And I
to
say
go
that
for
because
a
I've been asked
gig.
before
But
to go there.
listen, if you need to go, you need to go.
Yeah.
So
West Midlands is a lovely place because that's where I was born.
Here we go.
I'm just saying. Just
Yeah.
so you know. I don't know if you knew that, Dane. You know, I was born in the West Midlands.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, he tells everybody that comes
Tell
on.
them, right, especially when we get a guest from that same area. So it's lovely to tell them, like, you know,
It feels at
we're
home.
like brothers.
Your podcast for that long. We are brothers now.
There you go.
See?
Winning. So okay, so let's continue to rewind back because there's still quite a bit for me to unpack here. So music is a nice release for you. It's a nice passion. It's become a passion of yours. So at what point when you were doing your normal day-to-day work that you went, actually, I want to do this full time. I want to start my own entertainment company up and I want to do this full time?
Accidentally fell into it because my partner's stepdad, he was a karaoke host, or is a karaoke host, and I used to go and support him. And my wife would find it hilarious. 'Cause I just love karaoke. People hate it. I think there's a way of doing it. I'm the karaoke king. And it's like, can you cover for me? You got a place in Spain? I was like, yeah, it's cool. I can do this because I'm used to being around decks. Interestingly, I had to do it through a laptop, not through a controller. But you know, you rock with it. And then eventually, I got paid £100 a gig. Saved up all that money, bought my own set, did it as a side hustle. And because I got so busy, because I'm so passionate about what I do and I get involved, I'm not just a DJ. It's just skyrocketed to the point where I would probably consider myself to be one of the busiest DJs in the Midlands. Like I'm averaging about 5 bookings a week. And these aren't cheap gigs either. This is amazing that I'm in this position to be able to do this and work with amazing clients.
So what do you feel has been the transition point to get you where you are?
I think my hand got forced. I think I got made redundant a good couple of times, and I got to a very high level in recruitment too. We're talking triple figures. But I was working 100-hour weeks. I was staying away from my family 3 nights a week in London, due to work commitments. And then my kids are 3 and 8, and I was getting a bit depressed, you know. I didn't realize it at the time and a bit burnt out, but I would, again, music's therapy. So I'd still DJ at the weekend, once or twice a weekend. Tried to limit to 1, but you know what it's like. You can't help yourself. Okay, I'll take the extra gig on. So when I got made redundant at Christmas time, I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I need to at least bring in £2,000 a month to be able to pay for my bills. It's scary, especially when you're the main breadwinner. But I just thought, you know what? Let's do it. So I learned from what other people were doing to win business. I observed. I had all that time, and I thought to myself, how can I stand out? How can I connect with people? And I've got quite a big following on LinkedIn, so I used all the learnings from that, and now I'm plugging it into my music game. And interestingly as well, I'm doing it organically. So I'm not doing it in terms of paying for followers or sponsoring posts. Anybody that follows me is genuinely interested in my brand. These are potential customers or people that have worked with me. And I find that's the biggest payoff that anyone can do. Again, that's a potential nugget for the future.
Yeah,
Don't think about followers. Think about the quality of those followers.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And that organic growth for you in the social media feed? Is that purely, do you think, through word of mouth in relation to what you're doing currently at the moment?
So word of mouth. We'll go into this shortly, but at my gigs, I leave QR codes on the tables so people can scan the QR code. It'll take them straight to my social media pages. So before I even open with a banger like Cool and the Gang Hollywood Swinging, they'll get to see what I'm like. And they're like, okay, cool. I didn't expect this guy's going to bring in the energy, but then before you know it, we're on. And so I get followers from that. I get people share my posts as well. And also when I reach out to customers as well, I include links to my pages and they follow me. And I'm just really flattered by it all. I'm so humbled because 4 or 5 years ago, I never thought I would be in this space. Like, even to think now, like I'm a full-time DJ is mad.
So what's the key for you in the sense of what do you feel that is attractive, other than you're wanting to create this experience, and you touched on that experience? What is your USP
My
for
USP
Fox with
is
2X's Entertainments? What is that?
my USP is the fact that I personalize everything that I do per customer. So I am so passionate about what I do, but I think it comes down to that initial brief, when you're almost like courting your client. It's like finding out all those little details about them so that when you go back in with the closing, you've nailed everything they've asked for. But equally, when it comes to the event, it's like you play the songs they were talking about or women and airing about, or the special moments that you feed in when you're listening to the couple's speech, to the point where they're like, oh my gosh, like we've never had anybody like this person before. And I know there's so many amazing DJs out there, like DJ 24/7. What you guys do as well, I've seen your content, what you do. I absolutely love the passion. I do think it's my USP for sure, but I can imagine quite a few other people have got those magic aspects about them too, and that's why they're doing so well.
You clearly put a lot of thought into from the first initial phone call, the first initial contact, right the way through to the last dance. It's very evident that you put a lot of thought into that, and it is all about your clients at the end there, whether it be a bride and groom or a corporate do or whatever, and you make sure that you are giving them what they are expecting. And I think that's one of the things that people, the brides and grooms expect so much nowadays. And there are times where that just cannot be fulfilled. But from the way you're speaking, is that you put in so much time and effort, from the say first port of call right the way to the end, that you are giving them that experience that you want to give them, which can only obviously very clearly it can aid you a lot in the future. What with all the little things that you do, your QR codes and personalization and all of that. Hats off to you, man. Hats off.
What's Dane, what's the big selling point for you with the customers then? What makes you stand out? Because there's a lot of DJs, I know you're saying that you believe that you are the leader within Coventry as a mobile DJ with Fox Entertainments. What is the big thing that you go, this is how I get my clients every time?
One of the biggest hooks is my content, and how every single social media post that you post needs to evoke a feeling and a passion. That's what hook people in. But I think that and the fact that the customer can personalize everything about the set, from the playlists, the song suggestions, the set they want, the QR codes. As in, I do NFC tags and I put them on tables. So, like, when you go to pay for something, that's what it's evolved to. I don't think many other people are doing that. I don't think anyone's actually doing that. And the fact that I'm so diligent in terms of when I reach out to people, it's not just a case of I'm a DJ, that's cool. I'll look at what they've put down in their description, and I will proactively reach out to clients based on me thinking that I'm going to be a good fit. There are certain clients where I'm like, I'm probably not going to be the one for you. But I think it's that initial outreach that you've set the precedent. So I'm not just scattergunning here. I'm specifically speaking to you, Matt. I'm specifically speaking to you, John. I've looked at what you need and what you want, and I feel like I'm the best person to cater for that, or at least we can have a chat. And if I'm not the right person, do you know what? I've got a list of amazing DJs that I can put you in touch with that might be the right person for you. And that stems back down from my recruitment background too.
I was just about to say that. I said, I was just about in my head, I was thinking, I wonder that this is giving you the platform and elevation in relation to your previous role within recruitment, that you go, I know those key little points that I need to make, that I do get that signed contract and they're going to be coming with me.
So the sun should decided to shine brightly in my eyes.
That's
So I've just
fine.
done
It's
on
not
a
a
site
problem.
visit. So I am in my car right now.
You're a busy
Yeah,
man.
busy man, but it's part of the game. Yeah, so my do you know what? You said, what's my USP? My recruitment background gives me an advantage. I used to be a therapist,
100%.
too, before recruitment. So I got a degree in psychotherapy, started my master's degree as well, left that when I was about 23, 24. So therapist, recruiter, content creator, music lover. I just ADHD. I think that helps too.
Yeah, you're ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, and I think it's probably a downside as well, but also a perk, like being a people pleaser to an extent, because I just want to. I get, maybe it's narcissism, maybe in a healthy way. Like I just want to see people succeed. I want to see people have an amazing time, and I just set myself that challenge. Just like, I will make you have the best time of your life.
I'm going to ask you a question then. Do you feel that because you're even talking to you for the last 15 minutes, your standard of your bar is so high? You set your standards so high. Is there not an element where that can spin around and you actually go, oh, actually, I feel a little bit nervous or anxious that I'm not going to be able to deliver what I'm sort of promising? Or you're like, 100%, I'm delivering it. I back myself. I am going to smash it.
I just think, because I'm so competitive, I think if you give yourself any room for failure or any sort of doubt, like you don't go into a boxing, like again, I used to do boxing. You don't go into a boxing match and think you're going to lose, because you're going to lose. You don't go into a football match and think you're going to lose. You're down 6-3 or whatever it might be. It's like, no, we're going to come back, but we're going to learn. So I don't know. I just feed into that excitement. It's like I did a wedding on Saturday and it was really hot. So naturally people were outside. And I don't know, like in my heart, I'm like, oh my gosh, the dance floor's not as busy as I'd like. But you know what? The people that are in their chairs were vibing. There's one girl, me and her were vibing as well, because she was dancing and I was dancing behind the booth. And it was cool. And then, but everyone was like, the music you've been playing has been amazing. And they're outside dancing, but I couldn't see them dancing. Yeah, I put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure that every single gig, I'm only as good as my last gig. But again, it just makes me so driven.
Yeah.
So driven.
So, Daen, I want to step back a little bit. So you got made redundant and you was away from your family for, 3-4 nights, 100-hour weeks, the pressure within that. And now you've gone into a full-time DJ role, if you like, and you're doing like 5-6 gigs a week or whatever. How does that compare with the pressure of what you had, what the pressures because I mean, there is pressures. 5 gigs a week is a lot of pressure, and balancing your home life at the same time. I mean, how are you coping with that?
In fact, that's a very, very good question, because we need to talk about this more. So I suppose from a mental health perspective, there's got to be balance. And I think the sleep deprivation is the only downside out of all of this, because when you've got a young family and they wake you up in the morning, you've got to do the school run, that's bad. And I don't know, like if I'm in the house in the daytime as well, I feel like if I sleep during the day, I'm wasting my life. So I have to be doing something. But when you're at your gigs or whatever, I don't know, it just re-energizes me.
Yeah, the adrenaline keeps you going in that content. I listen, and we're all family people. We get it. Like I travel the whole country doing a lot of silent discos for a big company, and then once that's finished, wherever it is in the country, I know I need to get home because the next morning I'm off to gymnastics. with the little one, you know, so there is that element that you've got to still do the family stuff, the dad stuff, but you're also wanting to still put on a great show and a great event and a great night for the people that I've paid money or you are being paid to deliver an event on. So yeah, it's a tough balance, and the sleep one is actually quite key and crucial, and you're right to raise it.
Do you know what though? Like, real talk, there are times when I've been to gigs, like, or I've got there and I'm like, I really can't be bothered. And I know that's really bad to say. I haven't got any energy. I've had minimal sleep, but it's just that whole, do you know what? Don't hide those feelings from yourself. Embrace them. Get them out your system. Because then once you're in it and you see people enjoying themselves, or you're playing some tunes that you're enjoying, it's all worth it again. And again, when it comes to your kids, I don't know, maybe it's my attitude, but like when you wake up in the morning, you're knackered and everything, your main job in life is those kids. So do you know what? Again, game face. I'm going to go to gymnastics. I'm going to make sure that I'm as enthusiastic as possible, and then I might be a typical dad and fall asleep on the settee for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you saying about you're tired, you can't be bothered, or you're not in the mood for a party or whatever, but then you get behind the decks and you start vibing and this, that, and the other. Yeah, I think it's important that no matter if you've been booked on to do an event, a gig, or whatever, even if you've had like a blazing row with your other half and your missus, you need to leave that at the door and not put that across to your customers, because that customer is expecting you to do a job and give them, that is their most special day of the year. You need to leave your personal stuff at the door, and you rock up tired. On the journey down there, I'm not really feeling it. I'm going to put a bit of Luther on the radio. Don't get me. And you're starting to hype yourself up. When you get there and you get behind the desk, you go, right, here we go. I'm in the zone now. I'm ready to go. It's important to get
It's
sleep.
balance. It's an absolute balance, and we've got to balance it out, and we've got to identify the balance. One thing I would say is that we talked about it a couple of weeks ago in me identifying that I was getting to the stages of being burnt out, and I recognized that, and I've had to stop, check myself, look at everything that I do, and then reevaluate what is a priority and what's not a priority. So it's about doing that. I think we get into this world of chasing the pound coin a little bit too much. And it's great being busy and it's great being do that, but actually you've still got to look after you and number one. And then what comes with that is then looking after family.
It's not all fun. Like, as much as I love DJing, it's not all fun and games. It's not for everyone. Like, I think you have to have a certain mindset. And it can't be good for your health as well, because it technically is a night shift job.
Yeah, no, you're constantly working late with it. I mean, mate and I, I'll tell you, we've been at most of the McDonald's across the country, which is not healthy.
No.
So, I mean, do you have any, obviously you're out sort of 4, 5, 6 times a week. Have you got any, what keeps you going? Just, if you're doing 5 parties on the bounce, you've got a family, you're not getting a lot of sleep, your diet's probably not the best it could be. What do you use to keep you pepped up, ready to go? What do you do?
Well, on that note, I'm drinking ginger tea, staying away from the McDonald's, taking your packed lunches, keeping away from those buffets. I've lost a good couple of stone in the past couple of months, because I've cut out the beer as well. I used to have 1 beer a night. Your body actually processes the alcohol before it burns down fat. Didn't know that. Interesting. Made a world of difference. Sleep, I think just power naps are amazing. Get them when you can. But my biggest fuel is connection. I think I'm blessed by having an amazing family. My kids are my life. I can pick up the phone to my friends whenever I want. But I think this is what Matt said on his podcast with 24/7, about having DJs you can speak to at the end of a gig. That is so healthy, because I try and speak to the missus about my gig. She's got no interest in no interest at all. But fellow DJs who you become like probably some of my best mates, really. Interestingly, it's like having your own therapist, and I don't know, it just keeps me grounded. And again, I think you never know when this journey is going to end, because eventually it will. So I'm just embracing every moment of it while I can.
Ride the wave, mate. Ride the wave.
COVID taught us
Yeah,
that.
Matty and
COVID
I
shut down everything. So I'm just grateful that we've still got it what we have.
exactly that. Exactly. Matty and I speak to each other all the time, like after gigs. We'll say, "What time you finish?" Give it 12. Right, I'll ring you at 1, and then we're in the car, and and it is healthy because my missus is not interested in anything I do, like DJ wise. She's not, so you can't have a conversation with her. So what you're saying, I mean, Matt and I have made a friendship up in the last sort of 18 months, through the DJing stuff, and he's so lucky to have me as a friend. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, I don't even know where. I'm not even going to comment on that one, John. To be honest with you, back to you, Daen. It's not about John and our friendship. So you talk about the importance of networking. So what does your networking look like with other DJs?
Yeah, so
is it healthy or is it non-existent?
So I've joined so many Facebook forums, so many different groups of DJing. I try to attend the expos where I can. I'm now registered as part of the National Association of DJs. I'm just an absolute sponge, and I want to learn from every person going, and the good and the bad. I've built some WhatsApp groups too, to be able to vent. I think it's fundamental as well to have a network of peers that you can support them when they need people to cover for their gigs, and vice versa. Or if anything goes wrong, can I borrow some equipment? Like, I've got you, bro. That's amazing. But we alluded to this at the beginning of this call. Too many DJs out there aren't willing to do that. They're on their own, and they're the ones that won't succeed. So I will elevate my circle. Anyone that's listening to this podcast, feel free to reach out to me. I will help everyone. I have got that growth mindset, and I love working with people that genuinely want to grow and achieve.
Nice.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go.
You're saying that you're a sponge and you like to soak up all the info and you go to as many expos as you can and this, that, and the other. I mean, I know this is about Daen, but the Pro Mobile magazine, the Pro Mobile sponsor this podcast, but the Pro Mobile magazine is full of also useful information. I don't know if you subscribe to it or not, Daen, but if you don't, have a look, because you will soak up so much information from that as well, which you could probably read that through your downtime. We've picked up some certain bits and pieces.
I've heard that you've got some. I've heard you got some good promo codes for that magazine, which you could send me after this call.
We do.
We can.
We do indeed. It's Groove PM sub.
That's it.
There you go.
Now you go back. You're saying you're like a sponge, and but some DJs will take as much information as they can get.
Yeah.
And then they lock it in and they keep it to themselves. Whereas you sound like the sort of person, you'll take all that information and then you'll farm it out to anybody that wants it, which is the kind of people that I think this industry needs. Can you give us and our listeners, across the globe, I might add, can you give us a little nugget, something that we can take away and share, something that you've implemented into your business? Just give us a little nugget.
Well, I've got so many nuggets to give you, but I think one of my geekiest ones, I love using AI. I love using AI in any shape or form that I can. So I use Chat GPT to make playlists, and it's amazing. Like, it gives me things that I wouldn't have ever thought of. And then what I do is I take that list, because you can say to organize it by artist and title. You can say to it, it's for a wedding for a couple that are in their 40s. Make it specific to them, and you can actually add in that briefing form as well that you would normally take. We can go on to that in a moment. And then it'll carve out a playlist of how many songs that you want, whether it's 20, 30, 40, 50. I then copy that playlist. And I transfer that into something called Tune My Music. There are other platforms. It's a very cheap subscription fee, about £7 a month or something. And then it automatically feeds into my Deezer or to my Spotify or to my Tidal. and it's game changing because you put it straight into your. But okay, don't judge me for this. I use virtual DJ. I love virtual DJ. I know
So
this
do I.
DJ that. Yeah, perfect.
No one's judging.
Um,
This is a this is a comfortable, nice space. No one's judging in relation to the applications that you use. All right, I'm just saying that now. All right, let's go. Let's rewind slightly. Chat GPT. Okay, so if you've, argument's sake, you've got a wedding, the bride, groom give you a playlist. Do you copy that playlist into Chat GPT and say, "Give me a really good running order"? How do you phrase the Chat GPT for it then to give you the list that you want it in?
So first and foremost, when you're talking to Chat GPT, speak to it like it's your assistant. You know, how would you speak to a human being? And that sounds a bit like
Okay.
I'm the kind of guy that says thank you to Chat GPT. But anyway, ask it to do something.
No,
and
yeah,
it's
I've done that.
Yeah, I would say I'm doing a wedding. I'm a DJ. I want you to be an expert in creating the most magic playlist. I want to build up the night like with like some classics from the 80s, the 90s to get everyone dancing of all ages. And as the night escalates, I want some like they want some drum and bass, they want some house music, they want some old school R&B, some dance or whatever it might be. And then you see it doing its magic and you're like, okay, it's interesting. And you're like, right. And if it's not perfect, I want you to take out this genre. I want you to add more of this in. To make my life easier, I want you to give me 100 songs, and I want you to do it by artist and title. And then I copy that list. I put it into a Tune My Music, and then it will take that and it'll put it automatically. And I use Deezer, and then I've instantly got that playlist I can refer to. Another thing that I do with Tune My Music is I'll get the customers to create a playlist. I call it a song suggestion list. Because you don't want too many, because you're not going to play 6 hours worth of music. And then I get that playlist and I use Tune My Music to take that from Spotify, because Virtual DJ hates Spotify and legally you can't use Spotify commercially. I put it into Deezer, and then straight away I've got that person's playlist and equally the one that ChatGPT has made me. And people might say, like, you're a DJ, that isn't your job. Do you know what? I'm just using it as inspiration because I don't actually plan any of my DJ sets. I like to go with the flow. It makes it more magic for me. If I need to go on a toilet break, yes, I'll use auto mix, but I try to stay away from it because it will never be as good as what you can mix the songs together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't use auto mix. The only time I use auto mix is like, you know, through like the wedding breakfast, dinner music. That's the only time I use.
I'm trying not to use it then.
You know, I can't think of anything worse standing there watching 150 people eating a 3-course meal.
Well, I think do you know what, right? I just think that people might think that's the most boring point of the night, but I just think, what challenges can I set? Like, I might play some power ballads. I'm like, who can I get to sing along? And I'm constantly reading the room. Who's vibing to a bit of Queen? Who's vibing to a bit of Neo? And I write these things down. So when the night goes on, I remember they're like this, they're like that. So that's my sort of market research piece, and it keeps it interesting for me. And that's how I
didn't even think of it like that. But you make a really good point about that. You're actually feeling out your audience that you're going to have in the palm of your hands later on in the evening by actually engaging how they're reacting to a few of the songs that you're playing at that wedding breakfast. That's nice. I like that. I'm going to take that one.
I had the most challenging wedding I've ever had 2 weeks ago. You'll find this hilarious. If you watch my content, you'll see. Most of them were Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, and Italian. They couldn't speak English. I don't really know much Italian or Portuguese, Brazilian music. So I got them to send me some requests on the QR codes that I put on their tables. And I was testing it out. I was listening to some beforehand, seeing who was vibing. And then I knew then, that's it. This is the kind of music they want. They like bachata, they like samba. So as soon as 7 o'clock come, watch my content on my story. It's me cheesy. I'm like, you come to a DJ Daen Fox party. I didn't start the night off slow. We go straight in. Everyone dancing all night. And do you know what it was? I had a head start. That's where you spend the money getting your DJ to do a wedding breakfast, or even better yet, ceremonies. This is another conversation, because you're building relationship, you're understanding what your audience want, and you can entertain so much more effectively. If I go in at 7 o'clock, I've got to read the room for the first half an hour to an hour. Sometimes it might take an hour or so to get into the vibe. Experience helps, but if you've had that bit beforehand, it's easy. You're in it with them.
Interesting. I like that.
Nice. And I am going to try the Chat GPT thing as well, because I get into a bit of a rut and go, this is what I'm going to use, and that's pretty much it. But I need to start thinking of, I just want to make it a little bit more interesting for me rather than them. But yeah,
I think also AI is just so prevalent at the moment. Yeah, everything is AI. You know, so yeah, I like that, Dane. I like that. I'm going to use that. I'm
going to take those. They're definitely I'm hitting the button. Wrong button I hit. I have one job and one job only. There it is. This one? No, not that one either. I've lost it. There it is.
I love the theme music that you've got.
Thank you. So, another friend of the show, we've got a DJ friend who's a producer who does who whipped it up. We were in a pub and we said we were at a gig. The three of us were at a silent disco. We were at a gig and we said we're going to do a podcast, and we'd started it, but we needed some music for it. And he went, I can do that. And literally within 15 minutes.
Yeah. I don't think he'd even finished his pint, had he?
He hadn't finished his pint at that point. But anyway,
And it is worth pointing out at this point, Dane, that the Groove Junction Goody jingle is not played very often.
No, it's not. So I'm going to play it now because you've definitely smashed one.
It's the Groove Junction Goody.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There you go. It's a Groove Junction
I'll
Goody.
Yeah,
Utilize the kids wherever you can. So, what's in the pipeline for Fox Entertainments? What you got coming up?
So I run my own old school hip hop R&B shows on the side. It's like a live music TV production style game show experience. Because when people go out these days, they don't want to get drunk, and it's an absolute vibe. It's called It's My Jam. Can't really see it now because my laptop's so big.
Got a bit of brand in there.
It's My Jam Showdown, and I'm just trying to take that to the stratosphere and back, building up in the Midlands.
So tell us the concept about It's My Jam.
So It's My Jam. So basically, it's a live music quiz. People log into an app, they get into teams with their friends, and they compete against other tables, and they don't know what to expect. So the first round, there's like 5 different rounds. Okay, you win prizes throughout them. First round is name that tune. So I'll be playing some old school R&B, a bit of Usher, a bit of Mario, a bit of Neo. People might think, I don't know R&B, but when they listen to it, it's pop. They're like, I know this, and they're vibing, they're enjoying it. They see other people, because I'm building a community here. They see other people vibing too. They're like, okay, cool. So everyone's just doing their thing as they're answering the questions, and then at the end of the round, they get to see who's in the lead. Prizes. Set a bit of a break. Second round is trivia time, and everyone's like, so I'll ask a question about a certain artist, and then I'll be playing like Biggie Smalls in the background, and it'll be related to that person. So they'll be dancing along to the song, but also I'm making it fun. So it's like a fun quiz. And then there's a dance break. So after that's finished, it's a dance-off challenge. And what we do is, like, all of a sudden you hear that dun, 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 dun. It's like candy. We get everyone to do the candy. So if you don't know how to do the electric slide, we will teach you. You'll come away from that show knowing the electric slide, and it's cool. And we played various different like dance tracks. And the best dancer, the best dancers, I know it sounds cheesy, but they get flowers. That we go along and give them. It's cool. And the fourth round is finish the lyrics. So we'll play a song, and then we'll cut out the lyrics to a song, and they've got to sing the rest of it. And whoever sings the rest of it, gets it right, wins a prize. They get to answer on the app too. And the final stage is the It's My Jam vocal showdown. I'm basically giving you the whole plot away right now. It's basically a karaoke off. So everyone comes up to me or the DJ, and they say, Mario, let me love you. It's my jam. They've got to sing that song for 30 to 60 seconds. And if the audience aren't vibing to that song, they get to buzz them off the stage. and the final two singers that the best. It's hilarious. Think of like
brutal. It sounds brutal.
No, it's funny though. It's funny.
Right.
Sounds
The
good.
final, the
Sounds
best
good.
two singers get to be against each other. Yeah, so that's the concept a bit. But then I'm also taking that to wedding breakfasts. So I'm now doing It's My Jam wedding breakfasts. I'm also doing It's My Jam hen parties, stag do's, and they've been so funny. So it's not just a
Wow.
ticketed event. I'm doing things that no one else is doing in the sector.
Love that.
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Sounds like a good little production thingy going on. So other than the DJing, what other stuff do you sell with your Fox Entertainments?
So I've got the equipment hire, so people can hire equipment from me. They can hire uplighters, selfie pods, the usual. The It's My Jam game show as well. I will send people over to people's events. Like, when you hire a singer or a musician, they can hire my team to go off and do like an hour of like music bingo, but like with an It's My Jam slant. And then other than that, I've got a lot of other things that are on the go as well, outside of just DJing, from running a men's football health charity, which I think is key. I also do some freelance recruitment still because I love it. And I'm now thinking of potentially getting into videography and photography as well. So I'm not just doing one thing, because I can't just do one.
You do know there's only 24 hours in a day, don't you? You do know that, don't you?
I can't sit there and do nothing. I can't.
That is, you've made that quite clear. You sound like you're such a busy person. Hats off to you, man.
I'm taken back by this chat that we've had this evening. I wasn't know what I was going to expect by it. I'm pleased that you reached out to us, and I'm pleased we've got you on. We have come to the end because we're ticking into it, but I guarantee, Mr. Fox, we are going to have you back on again, because I think there's still so much to learn, I think, that and so much that you can offer our listeners with these lovely little, like the NFC tags, the QR coding,
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT. You're just throwing them out there tonight, and I think there's still plenty more in there that you can give us.
So,
but no one's perfect, because my phone battery died halfway through the call. So
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
You tell them about that. I was going to sort that out in the edit, but now you've said it, I'll keep it in.
It's always important to be authentic.
Exactly, very authentic that way. Daen, thanks for joining us on the Groove Junction. Let's get you back again.
Yeah, 100%.
Up for that, and I really value the fact that you took a chance on an unknown entity to you in your world, and your podcast is serving something amazing to this industry. There's very few people that do that, so if I was going to do it for anybody, it'd be you two, and then of course our guy DJ 24/7.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I think all you got to remember, Daen, after this, is that sharing is caring.
That's right.
What a line.
Yeah, there you go. That's my tagline. No, Daen, it's been fantastic. Thank you ever so much for spending the time with us this evening. It's been great.
Cheers, Daen. What an episode, John.
Mate, I'd say, what a lovely guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, really. A couple of good Groove Junction goodie there. We don't give them out very lightly.
Good guy. Yes. We've definitely a couple of Groove Junction goodies, definitely in that mixture. He's a very intelligent man.
Yeah.
Somebody extremely passionate about what we do in the industry. Wants to share information, which is for me, ticking all the boxes, and comes across really, really well. And you can, because he comes across so well, is probably the reason why he's getting the bookings that he gets.
Yeah, 100%. And the fact that he wants to soak up and sponge up as much information as he can, and then not keep it to himself. He wants to pass it out to everyone, because sharing's caring, Matt.
Yeah, sharing's caring. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Right, next time you come out with a tagline, I'm going to be all deflated.
Oh, God. No, don't be like that.
Love that.
Okay.
Come on.
Listen,
Come on.
Listen, it's been a long podcast today. What you got coming up?
So I've got a new school. New school's come on board this week. So I've got school disco this week, and then I've got an all-day garden party with no end time on Saturday.
Oh,
yeah,
no end time. How did you price that one up, John?
So basically, what I've done is I've priced it up. Like so, it's from 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I've priced it from 2 till 3 till midnight.
Yeah,
and then there's my fee every hour after midnight on top of that. So
don't forget, use your phone. Tap here for additional payments, please.
Yes.
Don't walk out of there without.
No. I you know what? I even checked it. I even paid myself £1 today to check that it does work.
Good.
And it does. And I wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi either. I made sure that I was not connected to the Wi-Fi to make sure it works. And it does. So win-win.
Good.
Win-win. Love
Absolutely.
That. What about yourself? What are you up to?
I've managed to pick up a late booking. I am doing a student union night in Hertfordshire. Hertfordshire University in Hatfield Friday night, and then I've got a wedding in St Albans to do on Saturday.
So that student union thing's probably not that dissimilar to a school prom, no?
It's going to be a lot different than a school.
Okay. I'll be interested to hear about it next week.
There'll be not a lot of this of people rolling. I would have thought. I'd like to think there's not going to be, but yeah. So that's this week coming.
I hope you have fun with them.
Well, I was going to mention actually, and because I've been seeing it a lot on people's social media. I've been seeing a lot, and this sort of goes what we've just talked about with Daen. Actually, a lot of people complimenting their DJs on social media.
Yes, I've seen that quite a bit.
Yeah. Seeing a lot more than usual. I don't know if it's that time of year where we're doing so much. But what is nice is that we are all providing a top-notch service, and we're getting our clients to say it and talk about it and highlight it. And where best to do that is put it on social media.
Absolutely. You know, and it is nice when you hear genuine people saying, you know what? I mean, I've seen a couple of clips myself this week, and put it on social. Let people know that this is the feedback you're getting, because there's a lot of parties you don't get feedback from. I mean, I might even design my own AI character to come up after every gig and say, "John, you was fantastic."
You got me to do that, John.
No, to be fair, yeah, you're right.
I tell you, you're fantastic every week.
I appreciate that, man.
John, you've been absolutely fantastic on the 46th episode of the Groove.
46, I know. It's only 6 weeks to go until it's like the big one.
I know.
1 year.
6 weeks, and we're going to be 1 year of age.
Yeah. Where am I in 6 weeks?
On holiday.
I think I am, actually. I think I'm in Cyprus as it goes.
There you go. On that note, thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks for listening in. My name's DJ Matty F, and his name is DJ John Colley. We are the Groove Junction. Thanks for listening. As always, and I said it at the beginning of the show, go and hit that subscribe button. Go and like it. Go check us out on the social media page, Groove Junction Pod. We're out there on Instagram as well. But thanks for listening. Thanks for joining in. We will see you same time, same place next week on the Groove Junction.